Hi there. So, this is the first time going live in a while. Um, this channel is E Divine Video Diaries. I'm your current host, the host. What I mean by that is, I am a host of a DID system of 180 altars. And yes, it's just as complicated as it sounds. My life is full of complication, and I'm actually trying to switch this channel from talking about my life as a model and actor, because that is one of my altars, to my life with DID, and to my life with having both DID and incredible ambitions. I make my living through art and acting and modeling and filmmaking and all these other things. I've done really incredible things for someone who doesn't function at all. And I don't. A living with something like DID is complicated. Your life becomes everything becomes more complicated. I'm sure people who are neurodivergent, who have ADHD and PTSD, I'm sure they understand that um, something like that can affect and hinder your life for the entirety of it. And it sucks. It really sucks. But there's also, um, it's a good thing I'm a writer. It's a good thing I'm a filmmaker. It's a good thing I'm an artist. Honestly, it's probably where a lot of it came from, because I've been playing alternate roles for myself for so long in my life that, yeah, it probably highly contributes to the fact that I have it at all. Sorry, I'm adjusting the screen a bit so that I film more of it, so you can see more of my fabulous self, because I am fabulous, okay? I am fabulous. I'm an artist, I'm an actor, I'm a traveler. I've done some incredible things, but it's also taken me so long just to function as a normal human being. That's where disorders like mine hit the hardest. It's not that you can't have a full and fulfilling life. You can have several, apparently. But it's that it comes at the cost of barely being able to function most times. You have to engage in incredible amounts of self-care in order to be able to do something as mundane as just getting through a day without having a meltdown, or getting through a day in a single persona instead of 20, getting through a day and actually accomplishing your goals. It didn't help that I grew up in a very unstable environment, and that means that, my parents were not okay. They had a lot of issues of their own to deal with, a lot of mental issues. And because of that, they didn't really know how to take decent care of themselves, so they couldn't really teach a kid to do the same thing. So as an adult, I had to learn things like a morning routine. I had to painstakingly build a morning routine over a process of years. I finally mostly got it down. So when I start my day, I'm not starving, and I usually have some caffeine and stuff like that. But anyway, I am your host, the host. I don't know if I'm actually the host. I think I am also another alter. Someone who I was talking about my condition once mentioned, well, hey, usually there's a host for the rest. So who's the host? So my brain, of course, spins off another persona and calls me, the host. So really, it is just a nickname. I I'm not the original, for sure. I'm just one of the social ones. So I'm going to start doing things like live streams and my own shows and stuff like that. and trying to make it interesting. So, in order to do that, where'd my drum go? Is my drum in the car? Oh, I think it is. Oh well. I was going to do a little bit of drumming for you, but I guess that'll just have to wait till later. I'm going to pop on fairly frequently when I have the ability to do so, when I come up on the wheel. And what I mean by that is the way we decide who's out, who's doing what, has a lot to do with just this random selection wheel. We put all of our names, or as many as we can remember at the time. And yes, DID affects your memory heavily. I'm very lucky that we've discovered each other, that another friend with DID pointed out what she thought was going on with me. And it changed my life forever. My friend Liv, who unfortunately passed from an overdose. Fentanyl. So they told me what they thought was going on, and I went home and I read my journals, and I noticed I had been keeping journals my whole life, so many of them, and I noticed that they were one giant argument, and they were all saying different things, and in different handwritings, and it finally just clicked. And when it did finally click, we started communicating. We started writing letters to each other. We started writing notes to each other. And now, finally, we're in a solid enough system where our memories don't just disappear. Our memories are solid enough where we can remember each other being out and what we did and what we said and all these other things. That used to not be a thing. I used to not remember the things that I would say or do as these different alters. And yes, every single persona that is known to the internet so far has been an alter, because my original personas are not that social. They're kind of shy. They stay to themselves inside and they write all the time, and that's about what they do. They read and they write, and they hide from the world. So every persona that anyone has ever known from me, from Eliza to Eliza Divine to Goddess Divine, Ms. Eliza Divine, Domino Divine, those are all different people in the same body, but they're completely different people. And they live completely different lives. And none of them were the original. They were all alters. They are all alters. So I'm just trying to make sense of my life and the fact that at least part of me wants it to be very public, even though the rest of me is highly allergic to that. I'm trying to find a balance, and you're welcome to watch the show.